Hi children, let us continue with our new chapter. We have already started squares and square roots, isn't it? Chapter 3, we have studied how to find square of a number we have studied in the last class. Today we are going to study about some properties, etc. Okay, so first one, perfect squares. What is meant by perfect square? Square of a number is called, otherwise it is known as perfect squares. Okay. When a number is expressed as the product of two equal integers, whether they are negatives or whether they are positives. Two equal integers. If the integer is negative, you have to use the second one is also negative same integer. Okay. So, for example, 81 as 9 into 9, 100 as 10 into 10, 9 is written as minus 3 into minus 3 or 3 into 3. Both are possible. Okay. So, when you multiply a number by itself, the product so obtained is called a perfect square or square of number. Isn't it? Now, let us move to some properties or conditions. What are the conditions? Suppose there are some numbers given. So, in a glance, how can you identify whether they are having a chance of being a perfect square or not? At a glance, can you say? There is a shortcut way. What is the shortcut method is, the condition 1 says that perfect squares always ends with 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. A perfect square, given number should be a perfect square only if it ends with 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. Suppose the numbers ending with 2, 3, 7, 8, they are not perfect squares. We needn't want to apply any other things. Okay, directly we can write they are not perfect squares. Similarly, here we have written the condition as according to condition 1, if a number ends with 0, have a chance of being a perfect square. There is a chance actually. But what they are saying, a perfect square never ends with odd number of zeros. A number ends with 1 0, if a number ends with 3 zeros, if a number ends with 5 zeros, like that way, odd number of zeros cannot be a perfect square. Okay, cannot be a perfect square. For example, 100, how many zeros are there? 2 zeros are there. 10, can you written as 10 as the product of equal integers? No. Can you write 1000 as the product of equal integers? No. Different integers is possible. They are called factors. But equal integers possible? No. That's why if a number ends with odd number of zeros, is not a perfect square. Okay. 3 conditions are there. Then let us move to some properties of square numbers. Properties of square numbers. Get the idea and you can skip the same. Properties of square numbers. First property says that if the given number has m digits. Suppose there is a number given to you and the number has m digits. Okay, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 5, etc. like that way. Generally we can write m digits are there. Then it's square. Square means the number multiplied by itself. So, if you take the number as 1, 2, 3. Suppose 1, 2, 3 if you have taken. 1, 2, 3 has how many digits are there? 3 digits are there. That means m equal to 3 in this case. Isn't it? So, if a number 1, 2, 3 has 3 digits, each square has how many digits? Without finding square, we can write down how many digits will be there using the equation 2m minus 1 or 2m. For some numbers, there will be 2m minus 1 numbers or there is a chance of 2m also. For example, here how many are there? 3 are there. So, 2m means 2 into 3 equal to 6 or 1 minus, that is 5. So, if a number has 3 digits, its square will end either in 6 or in 5 digits. Its square will end either in 6 digits or in 5 digits. Is it okay? Then after finding the square root, we can fix which one is the correct one. This is property 1. Teacher has taken an example also 11. 11 means only 2-digit number. So its square will end in which one? 2m minus 1 for this one. Odd numbers. 11 is an odd number. So its square will end in 2m minus 1. That is 3. 121. Square of 11 is 121. How many digits are there? 3. Is it okay? So just get the idea only. If a number ends in m digits, its square will end in either 2m minus 1 or 2m. Okay. Let us move to the next property. So let us continue. Property 2. Property 2 says that if a ones digit of a given number is known, then we can find, without finding square, directly we can write the ones digit in its square number. If ones digit of a number is given, we can, without finding square, directly we can write the ones digit in its square. For example, if the given number ends in 1 or 9, see what is square of 1? 1 itself. So ending in 1. What is square of 9? 81. 9 into 9, 81. Ending with 1. Similarly, 2, 8. 2 square is 4. 8 square is 64. Ending in 4. 3, 7 means 9, 49. Ending with 9 itself. 4, 6 ending in 4 square 16, 6 square 36, both are ends in 6 itself. But if a number ends in 0, suppose 10, its square is also ending in 0. If a number ending in 5, for example, square of 5, 25, we have 5 itself. So by heart this one, this can be expect for 1 mark question. Okay, if a number is given to you, sometime little bit big number will be given to you. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 is a number. Find out the digit in which its square ends, or its what is the ones digits of its square. For round this square now, ones digit 6. For 6 square will end in which one? 6. Directly we can write its square ends in 6. Okay, so there will be, you can expect questions for the same. There are some questions in our textbook below the property 2. Then this is one of the important topic. They haven't mentioned it, but you should know. Okay, this one. Then only we can move to our third property. Okay, third property, there is no relation, but little bit important topic is this one. Prime factorization. Last year also you studied the same. What is meant by prime factorization? Expressing the given number as the product of prime numbers or prime factors. That is called prime factorization. Factorization means simply we can write 1 into 6, 2 into 3, like that way we can write it as the form of factors we can write. But prime factorization means you are allowed to use only prime numbers. That is called prime factorization. Okay, so let us see, then we can move to our next property. So let us continue with one question like this. Is 384 a perfect square? So according to our condition 1, we have studied that if a number ends in 0, 1, then 4, 5, 6 and 9, the given numbers is a perfect square we studied. There is only a chance. Okay, at a glance we can say it's a perfect square. But we have to make it sure whether our assumption is correct or not. Okay, that is only a rough assumption. Okay, by ending numbers we can decide there is a chance of being a perfect square. But we have to make it sure whether it is perfect square or not. So what we do? There we can apply prime factorization method. Prime factorization method are needed for 3 things mainly. First thing, to check whether it is a perfect square. Secondly, we have to find out the least number to be multiplied to make it a perfect square. And the third one is find the least number to be divided to make it a perfect square. So, all the 3 things needed prime factorization. So, let us see prime factorization of 384. Prime numbers start with 2, 3, 5, 7 like that. Orderly you have to take. Okay. First 5, then 7 like that. That is not good. Okay. Start with 2. correct possible ആണ്, ending with 4 ആയതുകൊണ്ട് divisible by 2 ആണ്. So half of 384 is 192. Then by 2 is giving 96. Then how much giving? 48. Then 24, 12, 6. But 6 when you divide by 2, 3. Can't continue, be there. That's enough. Till you get a prime number. The process will be continued till you get a prime number. So already you got a prime number 3. Let us stop. Then we can express as the product of all these. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into like that way into 3. Finished. Secondly, what you do? Pair them. Pair them means equal integers. You have to group them or pair them. Equal integers. 2 and 2 equal. 2 and 2 equal. 2 and 2 equal. But can you pair this 2 and 3? No, they are different integers. Can you pair it? No. Pairing is not possible. That's why 384 is not a perfect square. What is the reason? The number 2, the digit 2 and 3 has 2 and 3 have no pairs. That's why 384 is not a perfect square. Okay, is it clear? Let us move to second question. Same method, 384 is not a perfect square. Similarly, here they asked you 234 is not a perfect square. That is true. But if you multiply this by some number, you can see that the new product will be a perfect square. So what is the least number to be multiplied? For that, let us write 234. Prime factorization of 234. Look at on your right side. 234 by 2 is giving 117. 117 is not divisible by 2. So let us divide by 3. So by 3 is giving 39. By 3 is giving 13 for us. So teacher has written 2 into 3 into 3 into 3. Now teacher told you pair equal integers. So 3 into 3 as a group. Okay. Then what are the remaining digits? This 2 has no pair. This 13 has no pair. So what is the number to be multiplied? So in order to multiply to make a perfect square means we are going to give a pair of 2 and a pair of 3. So how many 2's are needed to make it a pair? One more 2. How many 13's are required? One more 13. So on both sides, teacher is multiplying by 2 and 113. Teacher is giving 1 2 and 113. So right side left side just multiply. Right side this 2. Teacher has taken 1 2 now. Give the 2. And here 3 into 3. And here teacher has given 1 more 13 for this. Isn't it? So look at this. All the numbers have, all the prime numbers have pairs now. All are paired. So this is a perfect square. So what is to be multiplied? What number is multiplied to 234? 2 into 13. So least number to be multiplied equal to to 2 into 13. What is 2 into 13? 26. Is it clear? Is it okay? The teacher is not writing the question. Let us continue with the same. 234 is not a perfect square actually. But least number to be divided. Least number to be divided to make 234 a perfect square. 234 a perfect square. How do you do? Same prime factorization. 234 is equal to 2 into 3 into 3 into 13. We already written. Now the number to be divided. Number to be divided means avoided. So which number to be avoided? We have to avoid 1 2 and 1 13. So you divide this one by 1 2 and 1 13. Here also you divide by 1 2 and 1 13. Previous question was multiplication. So we multiplied. Here it is division. So divide 2 and 2 you can cancel. 13 and 13 you can cancel. Now only one paired number is existing. That's all. Okay, so what is the least number to be divided? Same 26. Least number to be divided equal to 2 into 13 equal to how much for you? 26 for this case. Okay, so go through worked out examples. It's very important question. Go through the same. Okay, let us see the other one.